ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Srimad Bhagavatam, 7th canto, chapter 15, text 43-44. Rago dvesascha lobhascha shokamoho bhayam mada mano avamano asuya cha maya hinsa cha matsara raja pramado kyunnidra satrabhasveva madaya rajastama prakrutaya sattva prakrutaya kochi ragadvesascha lobhascha shokamoho vayam madaha mano avamano asuyacha maya hinsa cha matsara raja pramada kyunnidra satra vastveva madaya rajastama prakrutaya sattva prakrutaya kochit raga dvesascha lobhascha shokamoham bhayam madaha mano avamano asuya cha maya hinsa cha matsara raja pramada kyunnidra satra vastveva madaya rajastama prakrutaya sattva prakrutaya kochit. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. In the conditioned stage, one's conceptions of life are sometimes polluted by passion and ignorance, which are exhibited by attachment, hostility, greed, lamentation, illusion, fear, madness, false prestige, insults, fault-finding, deception, envy, intolerance, passion, bewilderment, hunger, and sleep. All of these are enemies. Sometimes one's conceptions are also polluted by goodness. Narada Muni କହୁଛନ୍ତି ବଦ୍ଧାବସ୍ଥାରେ ବେଳେବେଳେ ଜୀବନର ଧାରଣ ଦୂଷିତ ହୋଇଯାଏ ଏ ରଜ ତମ ଗୁଣ ଯୋଗୁଁ। ତାର ଫଳସ୍ୱରୂପ ରାଗ ଦ୍ୱେଷ ଲୋଭ शोक मोह भय पागलामी मिथ्या अहंकार मान मिथ्या सम्मान अपमान छिद्रान्वेषण प्रवंचन हिंसा असहिष्णुता रज विभ्रांति क्षुधा निद्रा ये सब प्रकाश पाए। ये सब शत्रु बोली नारद मुनि कहते बेले बेले व्यक्तिर धारणा सत्वगुण जो दूषित होता है। श्लोकर अर्थ श्लोकद्वयर अर्थ purport by Srila Prabhupada. The actual aim of life is to go back home, back to Godhead. But there are many hindrances created by the three modes of mental nature. Sometimes by a combination of Rajaguna and Tamaguna, the modes of passion and ignorance, and sometimes by the mode of goodness. In the material world, even if one is a philanthropist, a nationalist, and a good man according to materialistic estimations, these conceptions of life form a hindrance to spiritual advancement. How much more of a hindrance, then are hostility, greed, illusion, lamentation, and too much attachment to material enjoyment. To progress towards the target of Vishnu, which is our real self-interest, one must become very powerful in conquering these various hindrances or enemies. In other words, one should not be attached to being a good man or a bad man in this material world. In this material world, so-called goodness and badness are the same because they consist of the three modes of material nature. One must transcend this material nature. Even the Vedic ritualistic ceremonies consist of the three modes of material nature. Therefore, Krishna advised Arjuna, Traigunya Visaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdundva Nitya Sattvastho Nirjoga Khema Atmavan. The Vedas may only deal with the subject of the three modes of mental nature, rise above these three modes. O Arjuna, by transcendental to all of them, be transcendental to all of them, be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in real self. Bhagavad Gita, 2nd chapter. Elsewhere in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says, Urdhvam gachanti sattvastha. If one becomes a very good person, in other words, if one is in the mode of goodness, he may be elevated to the higher planetary systems. Similarly, if one is infected by Rajaguna and Tamaguna, he may remain in this world or go down to the animal kingdom. But all of these situations are hindrances on the path of spiritual salvation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore says, Brahmanda Brahmite Kon Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasad Paya Bhakti Lata Bija. If one is fortunate enough to transcend all this so-called goodness and badness and come to the platform of devotional service by the mercy of Krishna and the Guru, his life becomes successful. In this regard, one must be very bold so that he can conquer these enemies of Krishna consciousness. Not caring for the good and bad of this material world, one must boldly propagate Krishna consciousness. So Narada Muni here speaks these two verses. In the conditioned stage, one's conceptual life are sometimes polluted by passion and ignorance, which are exhibited by attachment, hostility, greed, lamentation, illusion, fear, madness, false prestige, insults, fault finding, deception, envy, intolerance, passion, bewilderment, hunger, and sleep. These are all hindrances, these are all enemies. All of these are enemies. Sometimes one's conceptions are also polluted by goodness, because there is a material mode. So Narada Muni says that one should be transcendental to these three modes of material nature. And the same thing has also been said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita by Krishna, that Srila Prabhupada has quoted in his purport. Therefore Krishna advised Arjuna, Traigunya Visaya Veda Nistraigunya Bhavarjuna Nirdanda Nitya Sattvastho Nirjoga Khema Atmava. That is advice. Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes. Rise above these modes. O Arjuna, be transcendent to all of them. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. You understand? You see. All of these situations are hindrances on the path of spiritual salvation. You understand? In Sattva Gun, out of these three modes of material nature, Sattva Gun is the better Gun. Better. Still it is a material mode. The demigods are in Sattva Gun. They are in higher planetary systems. Still, among them you will find all these things. This pride is there, hatred is there, hostility is there, greed is there, intolerance is there, envy is there. All these are there. And hunger and sleep is also there. Hunger and sleep, even hunger and sleep is also your enemy, because this is caused by these material modes. We are captured by these material modes, by material nature. We have forgotten our whole identity. We are eternal servants of Krishna. We have forgotten this thing, being captured by, attracted towards Maya. So we have got this material body. So the material body has these things. Ahara, nidra, bhaya, maithuna. These are needs of material body. Eating, sleeping, mating and defending. So eating, sleeping also, enemy. Do you understand? No, another one, this is also enemy. Yes. The spirit soul is not material, spiritual, eternal, fragmental part and parcel of Krishna, who is Sachidananda. Your soul, you are not the body, so you are Sachidananda. You do not belong to this material world, you see. You belong to the spiritual world, because you are Sachidananda. Krishna belongs to the spiritual world. Krishna doesn't belong to material world. You understand? So, you being is eternal part and parcel, spirit soul, you belong to the spiritual world. But you are forgotten. You have forgotten that thing. Krishna Muli says, Anadi Bahirunka. Ode Maya Tare Deva Sansaradi Dukho. From time immemorial, you have forgotten Krishna, therefore you are captured by Maya, and you have become conditioned, and you are here in this material world, and undergoing the cycle of birth and death in 84 lakhs of species of life. Sometimes in high planetary systems, sometimes in here middle planetary systems, sometimes in lower planetary systems, in different species. You understand? So this is the outcome of this conditional state. Conditional state. Unless one is completely freed from these three modes of material nature, completely freed from Maya, one cannot be situated in his own constitutional position. Constitutional position is Krishna Nityadas, eternal servant of Krishna. In other words, we may say, unless one is completely freed from the clutches of Maya, he cannot serve Krishna in purity, you see. Do you understand? Shuddha bhav. In conditional state, there is lower grade of bhakti, that is varnashram dharma. That varnashram dharma is there. It's lower grade of bhakti, it's not higher grade of bhakti. Shuddha bhakti is not pure devotion, it's lower grade. Then by cultivation and the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, if someone can cultivate that thing, that varnashram dharma, sansiddhir haritoshanam, engaged, and that means in Bhagavad Gita that has been discussed very elaborately. Under the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master, he should, that conditioned soul, that living entity, or human being, especially human being, should be engaged should offer the fruit of his activity to Krishna. It's karmarpana, the lower grade. He should not enjoy the fruit of that activity. He should offer the fruit of his activity to Krishna. That is karmarpana. It is lower grade of bhakti. That is varnashrama. But our aim is to cultivate pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti. Shuddha Bhakti, pure devotion, completely free from these three modes of mental nature. You understand? Completely free. So there will be no desire at all. Anna bhlasta sunyam jnana karmadi anabrutam anukulyena krishna anusanam bhakti uttamah. Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says. I mean, Sri Rupa Goswami says. No other desire. Material enjoyment, desire for material enjoyment, desire for liberation. Do you understand? Brahmasajya mukti. To merge in Brahman effulgence. This too. That's also a material desire. Merge into material Brahman, impersonal Brahman is mukti, sajujya mukti. That is also material desire. You understand? Rupa Goswami says, Mahatma also says this bhukti and mukti. Desire for material enjoyment is bhukti, and mukti, desire for this Brahmasajujya mukti, merging into impersonal Brahman, is two witches, pisachi. It's two witches. If someone is not completely free of these two witches, he cannot cultivate pure devotion, Shuddha Bhakti. Therefore, Rupa Goswami says, no other desire. No desire for material enjoyment, no desire for that. Mukti, Brahman, merging into Brahman, Sajujya Mukti, Brahma Sajujya Mukti. No. Anukulyana Krishna Anushlanam. Only we will be engaged in such activity which will give pleasure to Krishna favorably. Do you understand? Not unfavorably. Give to Krishna. That is bhakti uttamaha. That is best type of bhakti, pure devotion. And how can one have it or get it? Unless one is completely freed from three modes of material nature. That Krishna said in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Jamang abhyavicharena bhakti jo yena sevati sagunan samititan etan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. You understand? Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. Abhyavichareni bhakti, aikantika bhakti, unalloyed devotion, complete surrender. That's pure devotion. You understand? It is unalloyed devotion, aikantika bhakti. If someone can cultivate such bhakti, then he can be automatically freed from the three modes of mental nature. And then he will situate himself that Brahma-bhuta state, Satchidananda state. You understand? That is the instruction of Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, and I also hear Narada Muni says the same thing. It's completely free from these three modes of mental nature. Not a fact that one should be situate oneself in the mode of goodness. No, that's also hindrance. That's also hindrance. That says also. Give up this is also hindrance. Sometimes one's conceptions are also polluted by goodness. That's also hindrance. Those who are in mode of goodness, in the material world, they are philanthropists, nationalists, or good men, according to the materialistic station. But this constitutional life also form a hindrance to spiritual advancement. Also form a hindrance to the spiritual advancement. Do you understand? That is also, because there is a material mode of goodness. In demigod community also, we find all these things, all these things. This greed, false prestige, fault finding, deception, intolerance, bewilderment, hunger and sleep. All these things are there also in demigod community. But death, though their lifespan is so long, we cannot imagine. Still they have death. Still they have death. They have birth and death also. When kalpa is finished, they die. Brahma dies, Shiva dies, they all die. You see. So, that's also here, Mahatma said, this is also hindrance. They cannot cultivate pure devotion. In demigod form of life, it cannot be cultivated. Only opportunity is given in human form of life. Therefore, human form of life is considered durlabham, rarely obtained, not demigod form of life. You understand? But here, in this material world, in material calculation, those who are philanthropists, those who are nationalists, great leaders, serving the nation and country, serving the countrymen, they are those who are giving up their life for the service of country. You understand? Service country or countrymen. They are considered Mahatma. Similarly, Mahatma Gandhi. You understand? Gandhi became Mahatma because he gave up his life for the service of country or countrymen. You understand? But Shastra never says he is not Mahatma. His real Mahatma is one is a completely surrendered soul into the lotus feet of Krishna. Sarvadharman paritijya mamikam sarandaja. You understand? Was giving up all such religion, was completely surrendered unto the lotus feet of Krishna. He is Mahatma. That means, otherwise, pure devotee is really Mahatma, Mahat Purush. He is Mahatma, Mahat Purush, Sadhu. But in material estimation, material calculation, these people are considered Mahatma. A philanthropist, a nationalist, those who are giving up their life for the service of country or countrymen. You see. But they are not Mahatma. They are never freed from their debts. You understand? As soon as one is born here, in this material world, he is indebted. You understand? He has incurred debt. What sort of debt? Debt towards demigods, deva, debt towards the rishis, sadhus, saints, debt towards the other animals, debt towards your friends, relatives, debt towards your father, mother. You understand? All these debts are there. Devasya nunam pitrunam na kinkoronayam runincharajan sarvatmani jo saranam saranyam gatamukundam parihurta kartam. Bhagavatam says. When someone completely surrenders oneself unto the lotus feet of Mukunda, Krishna, he automatically becomes, you see, free from these debts. All his debts are finished. No debt. He is not a servant to anybody, he is a servant of Krishna. Jivar Swarupa Krishna Nitya Das. We are only servant to Krishna, not servant to anybody else. Do you understand? And he is never, all his debts are paid off. No debts are there. In other way, except this, in no other way you can pay off your debts, free from these debts. So you may Sacrifice your life for the service of Krishna. I will say service of country or countrymen. You understand? Like this so-called materialistic leaders or patriotic persons, philanthropists. They cannot be freed from their debts, you see. They are not freed. How can they be freed unless they completely surrender unto Mukunda and engage in his loving service? That's what Shastra says. So here, in this material world, if someone feeds poor men, someone gives treatment to the patients, like Mother Teresa, you see. She is alive. Mother Teresa is alive. Is alive. She serves these patients, you see. Especially the leprosy patients, you understand, lying on the roadside, you see. She serves them. And she thereby becomes Mahatma, a great personality, and got Nobel Puruskar, Shanti Puruskar, isn't it? Nobel Award for peace, you see. The material calculation. But here it says, to feed the poor or hungry people, to serve the patients, give them medicine or diet, to impart this materialistic education to such people who cannot get it. In materialistic calculation, one may be very great, but or maybe a great dharmic, religionist, but it's not a real religion. This may be something, what you say, Suniti, atheistic. What is that? What do you say? That's one good. What is that? Aesthetic. What do you say? Aesthetic sense? Aesthetic? Yes. Maybe aesthetics, an aesthetic sense is not good. Morality, it may be some morality, or good quality in material quality, good material quality. Do you understand? Or some auspicious work, we may say, maybe some auspicious work, punya karma. Do you understand? But this is not paradharma. This is not supreme dharma. So, if someone is engaged in all this work, that means serving the poor, feeding the poor, serving the patient, etc. They are in mode of goodness. Do you understand? They are in mode of goodness. They are doing all these auspicious activities. But all these auspicious activities are not equal to Krishna Bhakti, Shuddha Bhakti. They are not Bhakti at all. What to speak of? That they are not equal to Bhakti, because they are not also a step helping for Bhakti, no. They are hindrance here. Narada Muni says they are also hindrance. Mahaprabhu also said the same thing, they are hindrance. Do you understand? Krishna Bhakti Badhaka Jata Subha Subha Karma. All auspicious and inauspicious activities. So-called goodness and badness, here it said. So-called goodness or badness. In this material world, the so-called goodness and badness are the same because they consist of three modes of material nature. These are all hindrances for Krishna Bhakti. All hindrances. Krishna Bhakti. বিধি ধর্ম ছাড়িব যে কৃষ্ণের চরণ, নিষিদ্ধ পাপাচার তার কবু নয় মন। It's completely surrendered soul. It's completely surrendered soul. Was developed Krishna praying, love to Krishna, and doing bhajan of Krishna with pleasure, with love in his heart. He is above these three modes of mental nature. He is not under this vidhis, you see. Vaidhi bhakti. You understand? Bhav bhakti, we have Vaidhi bhakti, Bhav bhakti, and Prem bhakti. You understand? For the first initial stage, we have to very strictly follow Vedic rules and regulations, Vaidhi. But when someone comes to the stage of Bhav, and comes to the stage of then Bhav is matured, he comes to the stage of Prem, Krishna Prem. In that stage, he never follows these rules and regulations, above this. Do you understand? No rules, regulations. He is above. In his heart is completely purified. In the heart, that Krishna is there. Do you understand? Only Krishna is there. Krishna is manifested there. Krishna is there in the heart of every living entity, but Krishna is manifested there. Do you understand? He has bound up Krishna in his heart by the rope of love. It's pure devotee. That person is above these regulative principles. Because he has forgotten his own existence. Do you understand? He is above such a higher stage that he has forgotten his own existence. He forgot that I have this body. He is beyond bodily conception of life, in other words. Do you understand? So, Bidhi Dharma Chariva je Krishna, Nisiddha Papachar tar kabhu noy mano. His mind is not a material mind now. It's completely purified. You understand? So he never thinks of anything seen. How can he think of? You understand? He can never think of. He can never commit any sinful activity consciously. You understand? But if unconsciously he commits some sin, অজ্ঞানে বা হয় যদি পাপ উপস্থিত কৃষ্ণ তার শুদ্ধ করে না করে প্রায়শ্চিত. If unconsciously commits some sin, Krishna, who is in the heart, who knows what is that bhav is there in the heart, excuses him. You understand? Because it is done unconsciously. There is no sinful desire in him. You understand? In his heart, in his mind, no sinful desire at all. His heart and mind is completely absorbed in Krishna. Service, the love of Krishna. Do you understand? Unconsciously done. Then Krishna excuses him. Krishna excuses him. Knows the heart. He is in the heart. Such person is above these vidhis, rules and regulations of the Vedic rules and regulations. As for example, the gopis. The gopis are examples. Gopis, in the dead of night, they leave home when they hear the flute of Krishna in jungle of Vrindavan, you see. They leave home in dead of night, not caring for their husbands, their father-in-laws or mother-in-laws, their children also. Throwing out everything, they run. You understand? They kick off the Vedic rules and regulations, isn't it? This is Vedic rule, regulation. A chaste lady Do you understand? A chaste lady should not disobey her husband, disobey her father-in-law, son-in-law, I will say mother-in-law. Do you understand? This family tie is there. Family regulations are there. She should not go out. Do you understand? She should not go out freely. Cannot mix with other person freely. But what did gopis do? What do gopis do? Do you understand? They break all this bondage, you see. Family bondage, family tie, family rules, regulations. Do you understand? At dead of night they run. Though they are housewives, they have their husbands, they have their father-in-laws, mother-in-laws. Regulations were there. Still, they kick up all these things and run. You understand? Because they are in prem stage. You understand? Prem stage. So this is not applicable to them, BDs. Jadustejya sujanang arja pathancha hitva. Mukunda padabing asamaho charana renu jasamaho sang vrindavani gurmang latausadhinang jadustejya sujanang arja pathancha hitva bheju mukunda padabi Suti Vimugyang, you see, Uddhava has said this thing. Uddhava wanted the dust from the feet of gopis. Such Krishna Bhakti, you see. It is very difficult to break these family regulations, Vedic regulations, but they broke. They have developed such Krishna Bhakti, such loving, such love towards Krishna. At dead of night they are running. They run towards the jungle of Vrindavan and mix with Krishna. You understand? If a housewife will do like that, she will be condemned. Isn't it? She will be excommunicated. Get out! You have become prostitute, isn't it? Prostitute. You are no longer a chaste wife, you see, chaste lady, but gopis. They broke all these rules, regulations, Vedic rules and regulations. And by the materialistic person also, according to social laws, they were also condemned. Radharani was condemned, is condemned. Radharani is condemned, gopis are condemned. Because they are devotees of Krishna. And they are on the highest platform of love, you see. They are above all these Vedic rules and regulations. They cannot do any sinful activity. Because all their activities are meant for the pleasure of Krishna. You understand? That is the aim of our human life. You understand? That is the aim of our human life. Develop such prem towards Krishna. And Mahaprabhu has taught that prem. Mahaprabhu has given us that prem through name. Pure name. You can chant pure Krishna, name of Krishna. Then you can get that prem that gopis have got, Radharani has got. You understand? That is the purpose of our life. Yes.
Maharaj, you mentioned that even the mode of goodness is a hindrance for Krishna Bhakti.
This is not a material mode.
Yeah.
It's Shuddha Sattva.
But then why is it generally advised for somebody who treads the path of Bhakti to elevate himself in the mode of goodness.
You see, lower modes are ignorance and passion. So higher mode is goodness. You understand? You just transcend this ignorance and passion, come to the stage of goodness. That's something better. Still it is material mode. The demigods are in that mode. Sattva sanjayate jnanam. Bhagavad Gita says, if someone will situate oneself in that mode of goodness, he will be attracted toward this jnana. You understand? He can understand this philosophy. Then he can understand how I have also to transcend this mode and come to the pure goodness, Suddha Sattva. That he can understand then. Then he'll make a part how to transcend this mode. This is also bondage, hindrance also. Yes.
Then why is it that especially the human form of love is meant for going back to God? It's because the human form of love generally is in the mode of passion, but the demigods are generally in the mode of goodness.
Goodness,
so it should
yes.
be easier for them. So it should be easier for somebody who is in the mode of goodness because it's a higher mode to develop Krishna Bhakti.
Demigods are also conditioned souls. They cannot cultivate pure devotion in demigod form of life. Only in human form of life pure devotion will be cultivated. Not in demigod form of life. Therefore human form of life is considered durlabha, not demigod form of life. Because they cannot cultivate pure devotion. You understand? Only pure devotion can be cultivated, achieved in human form of life. Therefore, the demigods want to take birth in human species, human body. You understand? Because it's very easy to cultivate pure devotion. They have to wait very long time. One kalpa, you see. Higher demigods, Brahma, Shiva, Indra, you see. They have to wait for one kalpa. Very, very long time. We cannot calculate. But here, one who is in the human form of life, very easily, within very short time, he can cultivate this pure devotion and go back to Godhead. But they cannot. They cannot. They have to wait. After the annihilation, complete annihilation, kalpa is finished, then the higher demigods like Brahma, Shiva, Indra, they may go. Otherwise, not others, not Lord. How? This Mani Griva and that Nala Kubera, they were demigods. They were cursed by Narada Muni. And they were born here in this material world and remained in the form of trees, 2 trees. Sthavar Joni they got. Because they were shamelessly doing this lusty affairs, you see, busy, engaged in lusty affairs with the heavenly prostitutes, angels, you see. Shamelessly, naked. Narada Muni saw, so he cursed them. Therefore Narada Muni said this is hindrance also. They have these things in demigod society. So that's also hindrance. That's not, they cannot cultivate pure devotion. No. Yes. ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଆଦି ତାଙ୍କର ଆଦି ନାହିଁ. He is the source of all emanation. ସମସ୍ତ ସୃଷ୍ଟିର ଉତ୍ସ, ତେଣୁ ସର୍ବାଦି. କିନ୍ତୁ ସେ ଅନାଦି, ତାଙ୍କର ଆଦି ନାହିଁ. ସେଟା ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କର ଉତ୍ସ ଆଉ all are coming out from him. He is the source of all creation. So he is ସର୍ବାଦି. କଣଟା?
କାଳାତୀତ ଅବସ୍ଥା ବିଷୟରେ ଧାରଣା କରିବା ଅସମ୍ଭବ ମନେ ହେଉଛି, ଅଚିନ୍ତ୍ୟ ମନେ ହେଉଛି।
ହଁ, ତୁମେ କାଳର ଅଧୀନରେ ଅଛ ଆଉ ହଉନା କେମିତି ହଉ, ତ କାଳ ଅଧୀନରେ ଅଛ ନା। ତୁମେ ଯାହା କୁହାଯାଏ ୟୁ ଆର୍ ଇନ୍ 3 dimensions, ୟୁ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଓନ୍ଲି ଇମାଜିନ୍ 3 things, 3 dimensions. That means length, breadth and height. Can you conceive anything in 4th dimension? No. You are limited to 3 dimensions only. How can you conceive a 4th dimension? Do you understand? So, in spiritual world, there is 4th dimension, 5th dimension. So you can't conceive of it. Only you can conceive of 3. Because you are a conditioned soul. You are under these 3, limited into these 3. You understand? How can you conceive? You understand? You cannot conceive. Unless you go to that stage. हाँ हाँ
ଯେହେତୁ କୃଷ୍ଣ ବହିର୍ମୁଖତା ହିଁ ମଧ୍ୟାବସ୍ଥା ପ୍ରାପ୍ତିର ଏକମାତ୍ର କାରଣ, ତେବେ କୃଷ୍ଣ ବହିର୍ମୁଖତା ପୂର୍ବାବସ୍ଥାରେ ସେ ଜୀବଗଣ କଣ ମାନେ ତ୍ରିଗୁଣାତୀତ ନିତ୍ୟ ମୁକ୍ତାବସ୍ଥା ସ୍ଥିତିରେ ନଥାଏ, ତ୍ରିଗୁଣ ଅନ୍ତର୍ଭୁକ୍ତ ତଥାକଥିତ ଶୁଦ୍ଧ ଶୁଦ୍ଧ ସ୍ଥିତିରେ ଥିବାରୁ ତାଙ୍କର ପତନ ଘଟିବା ସମ୍ଭବ
କେବେ ହବ ନା। not ସେ ସ୍ଥିତିରୁ କେବେ ପତନ ହବ ନା। nobody can fall down. ଯଦ୍ଗତ ନ ନିବର୍ତ୍ତନ୍ତେ ତଦ୍ଧାମ ପରମ ମନ। ବଦ୍ଧାବସ୍ଥାରେ ଜଣେ ଅଛି, ମୁକ୍ତ ହେଇକିରି ସେଠି ଗଲେ ତା ଆଉ ତ ଫେରିବ ନା। ଆଉ ଯେ ନିତ୍ୟ ମୁକ୍ତାବସ୍ଥାରେ ସେଠି ରହିଛି କୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କ ସାନ୍ନିଧ୍ୟରେ, ସେ କାହିଁ ଫେରିବ? why will come back?
କୃଷ୍ଣ ବହିର୍ମୁକ୍ତ ପ୍ରାପ୍ତି ପୂର୍ବରୁ ସେମାନେ ତ୍ରିଗୁଣାତୀତ ଅବସ୍ଥାରେ ନଥିଲେ,
ସେ କଥା ଆମେ କହିପାରିବା ନା।
ତାର ପତନ ଘଟିଲା।
ବୁଝିପାର ନା, ଅନାଦି ଶବ୍ଦଟା କାହିଁ ବ୍ୟବହାର କରାଗଲା? ଯାହାର ତୁମେ ଆଦି ନିର୍ଣ୍ଣୟ କରିପାରିବ, ଯଦି କହିବ ସେମାନେ ସେଠି ଥିଲେ ତାର ଆଦି ନିର୍ଣ୍ଣୟ ହେଲା, ସେଠୁ ପଶିଲେ, ତାହେଲେ ଆମର ମହାଜନମାନେ ଆଉ ଶାସ୍ତ୍ର କ୍ୟାଟେଗୋରାଇଜ୍ ଯେ କରିଛନ୍ତି ମେନଲି 2 categories, ନିତ୍ୟମୁକ୍ତ ନିତ୍ୟବଦ୍ଧ, 2ଟା କ୍ୟାଟେଗୋରୀ ଅଫ୍ ଜୀବ ଅଛି। ଯେଉଁମାନେ ବଦ୍ଧାବସ୍ଥାରେ ମୁକ୍ତ ହେଲେ ମହତ୍ କୃପାରୁ, ସେମାନେ ହେଲେ ବଦ୍ଧମୁକ୍ତ। So 3 categories, not 4th category. Then mukta baddha, 1 category will come up. Is there mukta baddha? No. Baddha mukta is there. He was baddha, then by Mahata Krupa he is mukta. So he is baddha mukta. But no such category mukta baddha. First mukta, then baddha? No. No such category. No Maharaja has said, no Shastra has said. Then how can you say? Then he will make 1 category. That's your mental conception, mental speculation. That is not according to Sadhu Shastra, Guru. No. Nobody has said so. Some speculation is going on like that now. It's only speculation only. We must follow Maharajas. Sadhu Shastra, Guru Bhakya, Chitete Karya. We should not frame anything new, speculate. No speculation. Mainly 2 categories, Nitya Mukta, Nitya Baddha, and 3 categories, Baddha Mukta. Mahat Kruparu, but Mukta, so Baddha Mukta. No 4th one. Mukta Baddha is never there. No. Krishna Boli says, Anadi Bahirmukha. Why say Anadi? No Adi. Nobody can trace out its history, its beginning. So Anadi. Then all Maharajas, they have said, from time immemorial there are 2 types of jivas, always. Nitya Mukta and Nitya Baddha. Always. So, Nitya means what? Nitya means in the past, in the present and future also. At all time, that's Nitya. So, but Nitya Baddha, by Mahat Krupa, will be liberated, may be liberated. So, he will be Baddha Mukta. But no such category Mukta Baddha, no. First mukta, then baddha, no such thing. ବୁଝିପାରିଲ ଏ କଥା ନାହିଁ। କେବଳ ଜୀବ ଗୋସ୍ୱାମୀ କହିଛନ୍ତି ଜୀବନ ମୁକ୍ତ କ୍ୟାନ୍ ଆକ୍ସେପ୍ଟ ବଣ୍ଡେଜ୍। ଜୀବନ ମୁକ୍ତ ବନ୍ଧନ ଅବସ୍ଥା ହେବ ହେଇପାରେ। ଜୀବନ ମୁକ୍ତ କିଏ? ଜୀବନ ମୁକ୍ତ ଏଠି ଅଛି, ମେଟେରିଆଲ ୱାର୍ଲଡରେ ଅଛି। ଯେ ଏଠି ଜାଣିଲା ଯେ ବିଷ୍ଣୁ ହିଁ ପରମ ପଦ, ଭଗବାନ ବିଷ୍ଣୁ ହିଁ ପରମ ପଦ। That is our aim, to have him, approach him, get him. Let us become भगवान विष्णु कृष्ण। एक जानला, ज्ञान लाभ कला, एवं भक्ति जाजन कला गुरु का अनुगत्य रे। किंतु किसी commit some offense, then again becomes one conditioned, बद्धावस्था प्राप्त है। सेला जीवन मुक्तर बंधन अवस्था आसपारे कि नित्य मुक्तर नहीं न। ये जीव गोस्वामी ठीक कथा कही। जीवन मुक्त इज अवेलेबल हियर इन द मेटेरियल वर्ल्ड, नॉट इन स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड। ऑल नित्य मुक्त, eternally liberated and eternally with Vishnu or Krishna, engaged in their service, face to face. If someone can see Krishna or Vishnu face to face and directly engaged in his service, how can he forget? Is it possible, forgetfulness? How will forgetfulness? It's Maya's work. Maya makes one forget, isn't it? Vismruti. There is no Maya. How can one forget? Maya acts here. Maya doesn't act there. How will it be possible? They will fall down from that spiritual world. How will it be possible? Impossible. They cannot forget. They are, every moment they see Krishna or Vishnu face to face and engaged. How can they forget? How forgetfulness will come? How Maya will act there? There is no Maya at all. Krishna Surya so Maya hoy andhokar. Jahan Krishna taa nahi Maya adhikar. So there is no Maya at all. Because there is Krishna. He is eternally effulgent planet, you see. No darkness at all. There is no sun, moon, no tad bhasayate surya, no sasanka, no pavako. Gita says.